Today we have a closer look at the UPROPERTY macro for Unreal Engine. Like the uClass and uFunction macro, the UPROPERTY macro eases the connection between working in C++ and blueprints. You can add the UPROPERTY macro to variables that you declare in your classes. Besides adjusting how information gets exposed to blueprints, UPROPERTY also plays a crucial role in Unreal Engine's garbage collection. For example, preventing objects from being deleted when they are referenced somewhere else. Also, using UPROPERTY will help you immensely when setting up the networking functionality of your multiplayer games. Like with other macros, you can also add certain specifiers to your UPROPERTY. You can find a link to a list of them in the description. I will go over a selected few today, but in the future I will dedicate extra videos to other ones of the list. Let's start with the specifiers for the visibility of your property. As explained, UPROPERTY is often used to expose information of your C++ class to Blueprint. With the visibility specifiers, you can adjust where the current value of a variable can be seen. Let's create a variable for each of them. We have visible anywhere, visible defaults only, and visible instance only. As you would expect, variables marked as visible anywhere can be seen from anywhere. So that means in the details panel of your blueprints, but also on the instances that are spawned in your level. Visible defaults only variables are only visible directly on your blueprints, but not on the instances that you have spawned in the level. Lastly, visible instance only variables are not visible in your blueprints, but you can see them in the details panel of your instances in the level. So when you use visibility specifiers, it is important where the information of the variables is needed, for example for debugging purposes. However, those specifiers let you only change where to see information, but don't allow to change it. For that purpose, we have specifiers that are focused on editing variables from within the editor. Let's again create variables for each option. We have edit anywhere, edit instance only, edit defaults only. As you can see, the names are pretty similar to the names for the specifiers that are concerned with the visibility of variables. So they follow the same principles. Edit anywhere variables can be changed from within the blueprint, but also on the instances that are spawned in a level. Edit instance only variables can only be adjusted on instances in your level, but not on the blueprint itself. Lastly, edit defaults only variables can only be adjusted inside the blueprint, but not on instances in your level. For those specifiers that change where you can write the value of variables, it is important to consider if your instances should have different default values for certain variables, or if it should be uniform across all your instances. Now, if you want to read or change the value of a variable inside your blueprint graph, there's also a way. You can add the specifier blueprint read only, and then you can read the value of a variable inside the blueprint graph. If you also want to write the value of this variable, then you have to replace blueprint read only with blueprint read write. Then you are able to read the value, but also you are able to write the value. Another useful specifier is the category specifier. Here you can provide a category name and basically group variables together. As you can see, for each category a new group gets created in your details panels inside the editor. In those groups you can find all variables that are assigned to this category. Furthermore, you can also use the pipe operator to create subcategories. Those subcategories can then be found inside the parent category. Of course, similar to uClass and uFunction, you can also add meta specifiers to your UPROPERTY macro. For example, if you have defined an integer variable and you want to limit its range, you can add the clampmin and clampmax specifier. Here you can provide a value for each of them. If in the editor a value below the clampmin value will be entered, then it automatically gets set to the value that you have provided for clampmin. So in our case 0. If the value exceeds clampmax, it will be set to the value of clampmax. You can additionally use the UImin and UImax specifiers. These create basically a slider for your property that is limited to the range you have defined with UImin and UImax. If you now remove the clampmin and clampmax specifiers, you will see that you are now allowed to enter a value outside the range of UImin and UImax. However, when you use the visual slider, you are still limited to this range provided by UImin and UImax. Another useful specifier is the units specifier. It can be used to add a unit indicator to your numeric values. This was a quick overview of UPROPERTY and some of its useful specifiers. Like mentioned before, you can find a list with all specifiers in the first link of the description. And like always, if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. Otherwise, see you next time.